Hi, I'm Helen and this is the YogaRogue channel. So I thought I should make an introductory video even though I've been adding videos for a while. Firstly, the name YogaRogue. Why YogaRogue? Well, I really got into yoga not to teach but for myself. And every time my husband and I went away somewhere, I would try yoga in different places, whether it was classes, workshop, one-to-one teaching, training courses, whatever. I started trying things whenever we went away. So we used to laugh about it. We used to always laugh about the phrase going rogue because it seemed to be in so many American television programs. And so my husband used to say that I was going rogue with yoga. So when I decided that actually I was going to teach, I had to think of a name, and again, my husband immediately said, going rogue with yoga. And of course, that's not very snappy. So then we thought YogaRogue. And so that's how it came to be. And some people have told me that I'm a bit of a maverick and I don't necessarily stick with the crowd or maybe dance to my own music, to my own song. So it seemed quite fitting. So that was what the name came from. I found yoga, or yoga found me again, because of illness. And so the yoga that I do and share, the physical practices or the meditations that I share, very much about wellness and resilience, because that's how I felt. It's what I felt I was lacking when I did come back to yoga. I had been really ill and realised that the illness was chronic and it wasn't going to go away, and our life had to adapt around it. So I started practicing yoga, and then I realised I had to do something more because the medications and treatments that I was taking from the NHS were not curing and not helping enough. So I started practicing yoga every day. I had worked for the NHS for 25 years as a doctor and was a consultant psychiatrist until I had to leave. And I suppose that left me wondering what to do and with a thirst for knowledge anyway, and yet I was really quite restricted by the things I could do. So I started to look into yoga, to research it, and took trainings initially just for my own development, my own understanding and my own practice. And people around me started to tell me I should teach. Throughout my 25 years with the NHS, I used to do a lot of teaching, nothing to do with yoga, of course. And I've always loved teaching. So I started to I was asked to cover somebody else's class when a teacher was away, and I had really positive feedback. So I went on and did more training, and my own in-person class started in January 2020. Only one class a week. I struggle to provide consistency and more than that because of my own physical restrictions and limitations. And that was going pretty well. Lovely small group, all people interested in wellness and resiliency. And then COVID-19 happened to us. We responded to COVID-19 faster than most people. I was aware from my own physical health and from the treatments that I take that my immune system is in a very poor state. And one of the drugs that I take is an immunosuppressant. It's like a chemotherapy. But the people that were attending my class, most or all of them, had they were either older or had similar difficulties with their immune systems, and so we discussed it at an early stage, and we went effectively down into lockdown in early March. Not everybody around us thought that that was a good idea. We were somewhat criticised by some people, I have to say, but others were very understanding and supportive. So, in fact, the only reason I carried on going out in early March was twice to the vets when one of our dogs dislocated her hip twice and had to have surgery. But that was the 12th of March was the last venture out, other than one other trip in that period, which was completely isolated. So on the 17th of March, YogaRogue started Zooming it was just to the same class of people, plus a couple of extra friends who were in a similar situation. But we quickly went up to more than one class a week. I figured it didn't make much difference. I was always already practicing daily. Of course, it does make a difference, and I'll come back to that. But my own class, we went up to 3 times a week because most people in that class were extremely socially isolated, and the Zooming yoga was actually their only contact with the outside world, more or less. We added in another one, which was for the teacher I'd previously covered for her class, because I knew the students. I was never seeking to increase my class attendance, was quite happy with a small class, so I kept with the people I knew plus a few extras. So throughout the pandemic, I Zoomed a fair bit, but unfortunately I kind of forget about the physical illness, and some days I can do nothing. And so that amount of Zooming has now had to go back to the bare minimum because I don't have the physical health to do that. But things have changed. People are doing more, even if some of us are still shielding. So YogaRogue was born. We started to create videos that were of better quality, that could be placed on the YouTube channel. So please enjoy the physical practices, the asana practices, enjoy the guided meditations and visualizations, and I will continue to learn and develop and share all of that with you. Thank you very much. One thing I will say, please listen to your own bodies. Do what's right for you. If ever you do a practice, make sure you listen to your body. Don't try and do more than you are ready for. You're not going to see handstands and flying gymnastics on YogaRogue, but still you have to be sensible and look after yourself. Thank you very much, and I shall see you on the mat.